Right, so I've chosen to do this series of videos because I feel it and I know it that we're in a big, important time in humanity's history. The reason why there's 8 billion people on this earth is because the hundreds of millions of souls in spirit wanted to be there to watch, experience, have a role in this big global situation that we have at the minute. And I know this is causing stress and anxiety for a lot of people, but remember, you're alive during a very, very difficult but important time, and your role within this is something that you've pre-agreed, something that you have decided to be here for. Are you, for example, we've got all kinds of autocratic stuff coming in. Europe's being destroyed by immigration deliberately by we all know what's happening and the agendas of the people that hide under rocks. And especially in the UK at the moment, we're being slowly destroyed by our Prime Minister, and none of us knows. We're all fearful, we're all stressed out because none of us knows, what life has in store for us at the minute. I mean, I know my role is not to comply. I am not going to comply. And that may cause me to be taken off YouTube. That may cause me to be taken off all online sites. And you know what? If I have to sacrifice that, I will, because my values and passions are purpose, freedom, privacy, compassion, and I will not act on fear-based motivations. You go on to digital ID or you won't have a job, you won't have any money, you'll starve. Well, do you know what? Digital ID is a scarier and worse prospect than ever anything else. So stick to your passions, stick to your ethical ideals, and whatever it is your role is at the moment, whether you're here to be one of the oppressors or one of the uniformed oppressors, that might be your role, and that's something for you to think about, and whether you want to continue that or it is your role, whether you like to do that, whether you're here to be somebody that rebels or somebody that says yes and rolls over and takes digital ID and experiences all the horror that comes from that. Whatever your role is, this is an important time, and we're all going to show stress very, very differently. Now, where all the elements that I'm going to talk about in the next series of videos, you'll probably see some of the stressors for other life path numbers in your energy field. However, we've all got all the numbers within us. Okay, so what I'm talking about is the stressors that is most important for your life path to deal with. So stress is a feeling of emotional or physical tension. It can come from any event or thought that makes you feel frustrated, angry, fearful, nervous. And stress is your body's reaction to that challenge or demand. Your most important issues that cause you stress, the most important stressors, are in your life path, and they're the ones you need to focus on. That's why I'm doing this series of videos. These are your most important elements to develop. And as I said, you may recognize the other important stressors of other numbers in yourself. This is normal because you're not just your life path challenges. There are other less important stressors that come from your karmic weaknesses or your number energies that you haven't fully developed yet, that you'll probably develop in your next incarnation, your next lifetime. But it's understanding that stress that the world is causing on us, or your personal life is causing you at the moment, and understanding these stressors and being aware of them, and knowing what you need to be doing, and understanding what isn't good for your life path. So if you're a life path 4, these are the main stressors that you will have experience, and what are the most important stressors for you to manage in order to, bring your life path number forward and to try and combat the stressors and what's going on around us, because a life path 4 already feels unsafe. So what's going on in the UK, especially at the moment, will really have an impact on a life path 4 and has the potential to bring really heightened stressors. But to a greater or lesser degree, and of course, depending on the other numbers in your chart, your stresses are going to be like feeling, oh my God, I've got no direction. I don't know which way to turn. I've got no personal goals. I don't know which way to go for my own security. I'm feeling that at the moment, but I'm a 3-4-7, so the 4 is one of my major sub-lessons. And I'm not sure what decision to make myself at the moment with what's going on in the UK for my own security and safety and stability. So a life path 4 must be really struggling with this because it's their main stressor number if they're a life path 4. For me, it's only a major sub-lesson. So I have personal goals, but I'm not sure which ones are the best actions to take to feel safe as we go forward in this country, not knowing what's going to happen. Feelings of dread, feeling vulnerable to ruin. And, that is absolutely true of myself at the moment. I'm not exactly catastrophizing, but sometimes it crosses my mind and I just have to bring my mind back to the light and think, no, there's as much light working for us as there is darkness against us. It's just the darkness is more visible at the moment, and it's just the lights need to, for want of a better word, turn themselves on and help the British people and anyone else around the world that is struggling with their government to see a positive way forward here. Lacking in physical or emotional peace of mind, constant worry about the future. And this can make you feel worrisome, down. It can make you feel quiet, make you feel low, make you feel unsafe, like you're constantly waiting for something terrible to happen. And because of that stress, you struggle to connect to daily routines, making mistakes because you're struggling to connect with processes and procedures and even rules or situations. It can make a 4 really up in the clouds when they're really under stress because the worry overtakes them. They can feel detached from material reality. Fear and vulnerability, again, is a big part of that. They don't feel, because they don't know if they're safe, they don't have any plans because they feel unstable. So they're disorganized, inaccurate, not quite with it at times because they're not quite sure of exactly what they're doing or which path to take. And again, this fear can make them totally uncommitted, even unreliable, undependable, and sometimes irresponsible. So they have pessimistic feelings of dread, vulnerability. They feel that ruin and death is in their future and the future of man. Feelings of pointlessness, why bother? It'll all go wrong. Apathy, laziness, directionless, of course. If you feel there's no future, why plan for it? No wishes, no foundations, no thoughts or plans for future safety, no secure, safe and stable home at times, or fear that you're going to lose it. Fear of loss or not having any long-term earning power or relationships to help you feel safe. Uncommitted, unplanned, unpredictable, of course, because you don't feel safe. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Inaccurate, chaotic, disorganized, up in the clouds, unbalanced work ethic, lazy, irresponsible, or throwing yourself into work and being like workaholic. Stubborn, inflexible, either really into order and routine or completely against it or can't deal with it. Workaholism or complete laziness, and definitely stifling your own creativity with all this worry and analytics and stress. And because you're in the clouds and you don't know which way to turn or which goal to achieve, you're often impractical, often unrealistic, and lacking in interest or focus in the tangible world for all the reasons that I've just mentioned. But to combat that stress, this is, these are the, I'm not giving you a complete strategy on how to do all these things. That's something that needs further work to help you to do it. But these are the goals to work towards as a Life Path 4, is to, first of all, feel inside, whatever happens, it's happening to us all. Something can happen and we will be okay. There is as much light out there as darkness. If you can keep that in mind, that's definitely a start. Set personal goals that prioritize the long-term security. Think positive. Think people moving into a golden age of light, and even though we're down at the minute, when we come back up, we're on an upward trajectory of evolution, and things getting better, and the lies being, that we're seeing the lies at the moment. It's the moment of destruction. We're seeing all the negative, the rubble is collecting around us, but we will start to move back upwards, and it's the power and positivity of the people, especially the forward-thinking Life Path 4, that will help that. Think about and plan for building secure, safe, stable foundations for yourself and all your loved ones in all areas of your life. And of course, you've got to feel safe inside. There's no point building a house and putting metal gates there if you still don't feel safe in here. That's where it's got to come first, before you do it in the physical. Where am I? And keep going off. Create and maintain tangible and intangible structures, routines and processes, so you get things done and your goals achieved. But also being cautious, practical, realistic is important. Staying grounded on earth and not sort of floating away and feeling that you don't know what you're doing. Focus on the worldly that can be touched or measured, because that's what you're here to build in this lifetime, so that you feel safe as outside as well as in. Creating focused, detailed plans, being more predictable, more accurate, more methodical, more organised, self-discipline, strong sense of duty towards yourself, those around you, when it comes to people feeling safe and stable and secure. A strong but very balanced work ethic, so you don't become lazy or workaholic. And be committed, reliable, dependable and responsible to build those structures and processes that are going to be the safety and security of yourself and those around you. The final book I had planned is complete. Now, this is my last book that I have planned, and it's called The Vibration of a Name. And it's for people that might be having children, expecting children very soon, or maybe even wants to name something personal. Whether it's a baby or a business or even a pet within your house, you can use this book to know the vibration of the name that you're using. There are thousands of names within this book that you can use in order to create the talent vibration that is best for your child or your business or anything that is important. So choose the vibration, the talents, the attributes that best supports your child's date of birth or their life path, which is their life purpose. Or name a business with the characteristics needed for your business. Or maybe you're naming something else that's personal. This is my first book. Well, it's like a prequel book. And it's for beginners in numerologies, and it's grounding for newbies and shows all the number energies in a personal chart. Then you have the first of the trilogy, and it's more for intermediate numerologists, people that want to really break numerology down and start using it as an art. It provides a deeper analysis of the lessons and challenges of your life path and birthday energies. So the reasons why you're here, a concise list of your priority life path tasks and your secondary life path tasks. They're not linked because the first column on the left is the most important column for you to work on, but also using the influence of the right hand column to achieve the lessons of your life purpose. Then looking at how your life purpose energies blend with all your talent numbers in your chart. So this is again the second in the trilogy for intermediate numerologists that provides an analysis of the lessons of the life path as they correspond with your main talent expression number, and it can be used for the numbers too. And then the third and final and new book of the trilogy, my intermediate numerologist books, which provides analysis of the lessons of the life path and the soul urge. And that's the motivation, a lesson by lesson comparison of how driven and motivated you are to learn the lessons of your life path. These 3 books can be used if you want to be a numerologist. However, if you just want to learn it for yourself, then just the first book, Remember Your Plan, will be for you.